Hello cooking enthusiasts. In today's video, I'm going to be answering some of your questions. Please let me know if you think I should answer these in the form of a live stream next time, but otherwise I'll keep making these videos. This first question is an opinion question from Logical Empiricist on YouTube. Do you approve the producing and eating of foie gras? I've only had foie gras once in the form of a pate, and it was quite delicious. So for now, I'm going to say yes to the foie gras question, but we could get into that in more detail in the future. The next question from YouTube is from Hello Bonjour, and it's multiple questions. Do I grow my own food? What's the weirdest food I've ever tried or ever made? And some book recommendations for both advanced and beginner cooks. I don't grow my own food, but I am looking to start at least a little herb garden in the spring. The weirdest food I've eaten was almost balut, which is the Filipino fertilized duck egg, but I chickened out. So for most people, they'd probably find it weird the amount of organ meat I eat. I enjoy all manner of animal hearts and chicken livers. Related to that is the weirdest food I've made, which would probably be considered Italian chocolate blood pudding made with pork blood, and it actually came out pretty good. For book recommendations, I've only come to cookbooks more recently. I did a lot of my initial learning on YouTube and other video series. For beginners, though, I would recommend Ideas in Food and The Art of Flavor. And for advanced cooks, of course, there's always the Modernist Cuisine collection. The last YouTube question comes from High Potency, and they're asking about salting meat ahead of time before freezing and then cooking sous vide. So he mentions that he's heard some conflicting reports about what salting in advance is going to do. This really all depends on the amount of salt you use. For normal applications, chicken or pork or most other meat is going to be fine. Just season it by eye and then vacuum pack it and freeze it. It should be fine. Your main issue is going to be with beef, because the texture can get altered by a certain amount of salt ahead of time. However, it's not going to ruin the meat. It's just going to be a bit different than fresh beef. But for convenience, I would recommend just salt it very minimally, like 0.5% or even less. Freeze it, cook it, and then when you're finishing it, you can either make a pan sauce that's well seasoned, or just serve it with some flaky sea salt on top. And finally, we have two questions from Facebook. November asks, vanilla beans versus extract? I would say in any baking or in general a recipe where you're using vanilla to enhance an existing flavor like chocolate or caramel or fruit, then vanilla extract is fine. However, if you're making vanilla ice cream and you can afford to use a vanilla bean, then that's going to be a more complete, complex, rich vanilla flavor. But it really all depends on what you can afford. The last question comes from Tiffany, and she's asking for some general advice on roasting vegetables in the oven. I would have to probably take a pass on this question because it really depends on the vegetable and how big you're cutting the pieces. Certain vegetables with a long cook time definitely lend themselves to par cooking with boiling or steaming and then finishing in the oven. And in general, I like to either use a relatively high heat or at least finish with a relatively high heat so you get some caramelization and charring, but I just really like that flavor profile. And that's it for this video. Please subscribe and share on YouTube and Facebook. If you have some follow-up questions, I'll answer those in the comments. And if you have new questions, please write them also, and I'll answer them in a future video. Thank you for watching.